You are now listening to Gotta Let You Know podcast with your girl, Shauna Sagaji. Now let's get it.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be back. I want to discuss what is financial freedom to you. Like, everyone has a general idea or desire of what that looks like to them. I know most people think, oh, millions and $1 million in a bank, but that does not have to be the case. Financial freedom could simply mean financial stability, and that's what I'm asking. What is financial stability for you? I mean, what is your lifestyle required? This is stuff I want you guys to get like a pen and paper, because it's that kind of thing. Like, in order for you to achieve these goals, you got to have a clear understanding of what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for. So let's write this stuff down. You feel me? Let's write this stuff down. So we got to first, if we have an idea of how we want our life to be within the next 5 to 10 years financially, or on a career boss babe level or boss guy level, we got to understand what we want. So we need to set our goals. Our lifestyle. What kind of lifestyle do we want? Do we want to have a mortgage and a car note, or do we want to have a house paid off cash, or a condo, or a car paid off cash? You want all your debt paid off? Like, what does that look like for you? How much money do you want in your bank account? Like, just money that just sits there, not money that you actually use or spend. Just money what's your number? And then, like, at what age do you expect or want this to happen? Like, at what time frame? Like, write this down so you can actually see it and visualize it, because it's true when they say, like, if you can see it, it's easier to make it happen, or for you to, like, work towards it. And once you have that idea, like, first off, I want to say that financial freedom is not something you can just happen overnight. It's not a get rich quick type thing at all. It takes time. And that's where a lot of people fall off, because they don't want to put the actual time and effort into it. They just see what they see on, like, Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, and, like, oh, that person is living their best life. I want that. I want to wake up tomorrow and have that too. No, that's not how it works. This is a long process. For some people, yeah, it takes them a year, 2 years. They did something that all of a sudden they blew up, making a bunch of money. Other people, it's going to take 5, 10 years. But why not start on it now? Because you don't want to wake up 5, 10 years from now and be like, dang, I'm exactly where I was 5, 10 years ago, broke, living paycheck to paycheck, you know? You don't want that. So start now. Start now. And you never know. Something might happen, you take off, and you on your goal a lot quicker than you thought. So have an idea of what age, a realistic idea of what age or time period. Don't be like, in 6 months, I want to have $100,000 in my bank account. No, be realistic. Okay? Have all this stuff written down, and deadlines, so for you to make which goal at what time. It's cool to have a binder. I do have a financial planning binder, um, where I write down goals, expectations, budgets, all that stuff. But then again, I'm a Virgo, so I like lists and documents, and, like, keeping track of all that kind of stuff. But it's a good tool. It helps you out. I like it on physical paper, because it's easy to be like, oh, I'll put it in my computer or on my phone. No, I like to have a physical copy that I can read, erase, write over, all that kind of stuff. So in order to, make your way through this, achieve your goals, you need to have a monthly budget. Sometimes I go a little too far, and I do weekly, but monthly is better. It's easier to keep track of. Um, Typically, you do that. You make your money, or some people get paid every week. Some people get it paid every month, or some people get paid every 2 weeks. So typically you have in your mind, like, okay, I have this much money set aside just for bills, which cool. Household budgets, fine. But then with the rest of that money, what are you doing with it? You can't just be like, okay, bills are done. Okay, whatever this money I have left, it's free money. I'm just like, do whatever with it. No, you need to also have that planned out as well. Like, how much of that money is you taking to save so you can make sure you're on track for where you want to be in your financial goals for the future? Like, yeah, it's cool. I do believe in taking time for yourself. And what's that saying they used to say? Treat yourself. I do believe in that. How often are you treating yourself? You don't need to treat yourself every week, every 2 weeks, every month. You know, it's a treat. So you don't want to spoil yourself, because then when you don't have that treat, then you feel like you're being neglected and you're not happy. You know what I'm saying? So treat yourself, but in moderation. That money needs to be set aside. Any extra money that's not for bills or food needs to be set aside for your financial goals. Have a regular routine that you enforce. You can't be lazy with this kind of stuff. You can't fall apart being like, okay, yeah, I put this money aside for, I've been saving money for the last month. I have $500 just put up. This is for my financial goals. I'm going to achieve every month. I'm putting up $500. But then you're like, I have $500 put up right now. Wait, man, there was this dress that was so cute and I really, really want it. And it costs $100. Do you think it's really important to spend $100 on a dress when you're trying to save for your financial future, aware that in this future of yours, you could buy 20 dresses without a second thought? But no, I don't think it's good. Like, just because you have the money doesn't mean you can afford to do it. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to think like if you were to buy that dress, where are you wearing that dress to? Do you have an event planned out, or it's just because it's cute? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to discourage you not to get the things you want, but at the same time, you got you got to have you got to be strong in your saving game, right? You can't just be like, "Oh, I have it. I'm going to get it just cuz I have it." None of that, "Oh, you might die tomorrow, so live it up." Or you might live for the next 50 years. What you plan to do then, you know? Okay, so then we're talking about budget. Now, got to also think about making sure you pay off any debt in full, because it don't matter if you got money if you owe people, you know? Like, I was once that type of person, right? Like, oh, I owe you money. Well, you ain't get, well, not an individual person. I never borrowed money from people, but if I ever did, I play back. There's no thing about that. But I'm talking about like institutions, like loan people. Like, I remember student loans. I owe you money. Sorry, you ain't getting that back. You should never gave it to me in the first place. But again, I was young. I had to mature and to really understand, like, yo, if you want nice things in the future, you got to prove that you're willing to pay people back so they'll give you enough money to get the nice things that you want, you know? So, yeah, I had to, become debt free. So, yeah, I'm debt free, but, well, debt free in like the credit card scheme and all that stuff, medical bills and stuff like that still being paid off. But for the most part, yeah, like I don't owe like student loans. Don't have $10,000, $20,000 in credit card debt, nothing like that. But you have to want to do better in that area if you expect to get better, because people are not going to give you money to build that big, beautiful home you've always dreamed of if you can't even pay back Macy's their $250, you know? So why would they give you $250,000? So financial freedom is that, not owing nothing to nobody. All your money is your money. Then I would suggest that you create like some kind of automatic savings, right? Something that you don't have to think about. So say you get paid every 2 weeks and your check is $1,500 every 2 weeks, let's say after taxes. Taxes are garbage, but after taxes. So you need to be able to okay, I know for a guaranteed facts of this $1,500, $100 is going away for savings, right? Think of savings as a bill. Have it automatically withdrawn for your account to your savings account. Like they have systems like that in your bank account where it just draws automatically, goes straight to your savings account, and think of it like, okay, that's a part of my billing system. If you think of saving as a bill, you're more likely to do it. Like something like, if I don't do this, something not so happy will happen. The reason why I say this is because saving for your financial future is cool. Yeah, that's cool, 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 cool. But also, the way the world is, the way the economy works, every few years something crazy happens, whether it's, COVID or like recently the hurricane that hit Florida and all that kind of stuff. Something crazy is always going on in the world, and it's always best to have funds on you that you can just save yourself, because you can't rely on people. You might not be the only one going through. Your neighbor might be going through, or your family member might go through. You can't always turn to other people, and you definitely can't always turn to the government. So you need to be able to save yourself in case of emergencies. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't just about financial freedom. You got to have money. The world is tough, and nobody gonna look out for you except for you. So emergency funds, retirement funds, plan for your future. Don't sit on this, for real. I'm serious, because you'll look up 10, 15, 20 years from now and you'll be like, dang, I'm still having to work this hard. I still have to work this hard. And I'm still living from paycheck to paycheck, barely scraping by. How am I going to be able to retire? I can't. I'm going to be sitting here working until I'm 60 years old, until I'm 70 years old, still worrying about how I'm going to pay this bill and pay that bill. I don't want that for you guys. I truly, truly don't. Another thing towards financial freedom, which I think I talk on this all the time, I'm constantly throwing this out there, is investing. Invest your money. Saving accounts is cool. I see saving account as basically emergency fund accounts. That's to me what a bank saving account is an emergency fund account, not so much as a grow your money account, because sitting your money in there, you ain't growing nothing but the bank's pockets. They take your money. You ever seen those cases where money, like somebody to have money just that randomly appear in the account? Like a couple had like $500,000 just drop into their bank account out of nowhere. They took that money out and went on a shopping spree, and then the banks are like, hey, give us that money back. And they're like, sorry, you don't got it. We don't know what you're talking about. And they like, yo, then we get those laws in your life. You ever wonder, like, where did that $500,000 just came from? Well, what happens is the banks are basically taking money out of other people's accounts, investing it, and then giving your money back. And then they just made a big old profit. So you're like, well, why is money being moved around? Because the banks are moving the money around. The banks are taking money, invested in stock markets, invested in companies, make a profit, then give you your money back, and then they pocket all the profits. This is how they are doing it. So you're like, oh. So that's what's going on. They making money off your money, and then they give you a little 0.1% interest. It's like, what kind of money is that? The only way you can make any decent amount of money in a savings account if you have multi-millions of dollars in that savings account. And if that's the case, then what you need a savings account for? If you got multi-millions of dollars in there, then you don't need a savings account to gain interest. No. So invest your money other places. I say this all the time. You can invest your money in stocks. They can be complicated, but then they cannot be complicated. Like, it's only complicated if you want to make it complicated. It takes watch like a 5-10 minute video on like how to put $5 into Johnson and Johnson, how to put $5 into Walmart, how to take $20 and invest in, I don't know, the water management company, because everybody will always need water management and sewage. Nobody's going to not need to have water in their household. So, you know what I'm saying? You know that company is going to be around forever. Everybody's still using AT&T and iPhones. Okay, take my $10, take my $15 in that company, because I know that company is going to be around for the next 10, 20, 30 years. You feel me? Like, don't sit on this. Don't sit on this. Every million and billionaire in this world, promise you, invest their money in stocks. Every one. Because they wouldn't be that if they didn't. And it don't have to be, like I said, some giant chunks of money. Instead of like $5 at McDonald's, $5 on McDonald's stock. Instead of a $10 lottery ticket, buy $10 worth of, Samsung. I don't know, Google. Whatever you want, whatever you feel like is a good company. So now, when I talked about credit, like making sure you pay off all your debt, but it's also important to watch your credit. And I say this because having credit is important, not only in the personal aspect, but also in the business aspect. So say if you have a business and you want, or say you have a business and you want to start a business, right? You need the capital to start the business and you don't have the funds. Well, you can get business credit, business loans. Now, I say, unless you are like solid in knowing you finna to make some money and profit off of whatever business you do, don't go out like just getting business loans, because the terms are a little rougher sometimes than regular personal loans. And they require a lot more payment back, or payments, or whatever I'm trying to say. The payment system tends to be rougher. So don't just get to pulling out business loans all willy-nilly. Just because they say they'll give you $50,000 don't mean you should be taking $50,000, Read the fine print. But what I'm trying to say is, like, watch your credit, because say if you have a business and you want to, grow your business, but you need the finances to do it. Business loans, say you've never had one before, business loans go off your personal credit initially. They go off your personal credit initially in order for you to establish business credit. It's very important from the get-go to know and understand interest rates that you're being offered, and understand that your business could also affect your personal credit scores. So watch out, be careful. Don't just jump into anything willy-nilly. Make sure you think over something. Make sure it's viable. Make sure you're actually able to pay back whatever you do, because you don't want your credit to, go into the garbage. You work too hard for it. Another thing is that for anybody, I want to make this public service announcement. For anybody who does not have their credit either locked or frozen, you need to do this now, because there's so many sites or applications that you have given out your birthday and social security number, and you don't even realize they are like mischievous, devious, horrible human beings behind the scenes, taking your information, stealing your identity, and doing God knows what with it, So freezing or locking your credit, they're two different things, but they do this practically the same thing, is when they you lock your credit with the three credit bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, and the other one I can't think of right now was Equifax. No, yeah, Equifax. Yeah. You can either lock or freeze. They're practically the same thing. And this keeps anyone, you have to do it with all three bureaus. This keeps anyone from actually able to like take loans out in your name, get credit in your name. This prevents anyone from doing it. If you haven't done this, you need to do it now, because you'll be looking at your credit score like, wait, why is my credit score a 400? Like, what's going on? Why my credit score should be 750? Why is it a 400? Oh, it said you took out a loan at Cons to buy you all this furniture, or oh, you got a car note in your name over in Kansas City. You're gonna be like, what in the world? Did someone get me? Yes, they did. So yeah. Public service announcement over: freeze your credit, lock your credit, protect yourself from identity theft, because that is a real headache to get fixed, like seriously. Then staying educated about all things finances, right? This includes like tax laws, um, ways to increase your financial development, all this kind of stuff. Whether you plan to become a investor or a business owner, you need to stay educated. Stay checking out seminars, stay checking out webinars, stay checking out anything that will help your knowledge financially. I do know, like, to me, the best knowledge is free knowledge. However, there are times where there are people who be giving you real knowledge and they charge you some money. I never promote courses or anything like that, because most of the time, 95% of the stuff you want to learn is somewhere on the internet for free. However, there are times where it's something you want to learn specifically from somebody and they got a course. Hey, if you deem it worth your money, it is what it is. But a lot of times these courses be just bunch of baloney, bunch of filler. And then, I have a friend of the family who had a webinar he wanted to do, an older guy, and he spent $15,000 on a webinar and learned absolutely nothing. He was a fool, 100%. I hope he never hears this, but yeah, that was foolish of you. There's no way in the world you should be spending that kind of money. 15,000, 1,500. Maybe I could see you spending 150. Maybe. But then you got to make sure you check out the reviews. Make sure that people, and don't check out the reviews on the actual person's website where they can fudge the reviews and only post the nice reviews or make fake reviews. No, look on Facebook and YouTube and all those other review websites. Make sure that the information and the knowledge they're giving is actually viable and usable, because half the time these people do some 5 to 30-minute long ad videos talking about you need to learn these things in your life if you plan to be financially free. And if you want to learn this, it's just 3 basic steps that I will teach you that will help you blah, 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 blah. All you got to do is click the link and check out my course. And I promise you, you will be like me and blah, 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 blah. And in actuality, they make all their money from you buying said course. You buy the course, they take that money, use it for ad space, which then they get more money, because all these videos or all these courses are pre-recorded videos that, again, you probably could find on YouTube for Facebook or whatever else, right? So financially educate yourself, but be smart in your education. Let buying information of any kind be the last resort. I mean, like, if you're going to spend your money for education, then let it be for school, like actual university or community college. Don't let it be just some random person on the internet says they know all the things that you need to know about making multi money. And if that's the case, it's like, then why are you selling courses if you making all your money, doing what you saying you doing? You feel me? So then another way for you to be, I think I've already spoken on this. I mean, how many things can you say about financial freedom if we're being honest? Like, I've spoken on like investing in real estate, but at the same time, I understand that real estate is difficult. So I'm going to say, instead of that, invest in quality property. And when I say that, what I mean is, when you're financially not where you want to be, you tend to be cheap. I am 100% guilty of that. So when I say cheap, it's like I had to buy a lawnmower to cut my yard because I did not like paying a guy $60 to cut my front and then another $60 to cut the backyard. I was $120 every 2 weeks. It's just like, what? That's what, $240 every month. That's $480 every 2 months. And I got to thinking like, yo, that's a lot of money to be paying you. You know what? I should just buy my own lawnmower and cut my own yard. So that's what I did. But I decided to go the cheap route and I bought like a $150 lawnmower. That thing was just a regular push mower. So it took me like every time to cut just the front yard alone, took me like 5 attempts. Like, I go out there, put all my strength in pushing the yard. Gotta take a breath because I'm out of breath. Gotta go sit down, chill because I'm sweating like crazy. Then I go back outside again for another 20 minutes pushing it. Go back in the house, come back outside, push it again, go back in the house. It was just a lot. And I'm like, oh, okay. So this $120, $150 lawnmower ain't it. So what I'm going to do now is go and buy the $400 lawnmower like I should have done in the first place. That way, when you turn it on, all you got to do is press the button. And when you press the button, the lawn practically mow yourself. And after 15 minutes, I'm done with both the front and the backyard. So now, when I could have just bought the $400 lawnmower, I bought the $150 lawnmower with the $400 lawnmower. And then that cost me a total of $550. You feel me? So I say, maintain quality property. Do it right the first time so you don't have to buy it the second time. When you buy you shoes, buy you quality shoes and not cheap shoes. That way, you don't have to buy another pair of shoes. If you buy you a car, don't get you a cheap little, what do you call those cars? Used cars that'd be like you can get for like a $1,500 to $2,000. Those junk cars where you're like, okay, no. Save your money. Get you a decent car, a decent, reliable car, so you don't have to be taking your money to buy a broken little ring-dink car that then starts giving you troubles after a couple months, and you got to put more money into the car so it can function just to get you back and forth to work or your kids to school or grocery store. Buy stuff, nice stuff, so you don't have to buy stuff again, So when you do invest your money in items, make sure you buy quality items. It doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. Just because there's a $1,000 lawnmower don't mean I should buy the $1,000 lawnmower. I'm going to stick to the $400 lawnmower that's going to get the job done right and the first time, So then, I know it's going to be crazy saying this right after I just said buy quality stuff. But you need to live below your means. I'm not saying that everybody trying to keep up with the Joneses, but people be feeling some kind of way when they check out Facebook and Instagram and see somebody they know doing well, and they're like, oh, I want what she got. I want what he got. Oh, he just bought a brand new charger. Okay, I want a brand new charger, knowing I ain't going to be able to pay that $700 note combined with that another $250 insurance. You know, don't try to keep up with everybody else. Stay in your lane. Live below your means. That don't mean you have to eat ramen noodles every night or cereal milk bologna sandwiches. But don't be going to Red Lobster and Olive Garden if you don't have to spend that money. Don't spend the money. I know you're probably like, well, it's not because I have to. It's because I want to. Well, do you want to be broke, waiting for your next check to be deposited in your account? Like, dang, man, I gotta slum it until 12 p.m. tonight before that. I get that notification saying, oh, your check been deposited. You don't want that. You don't want that. Live below your means. Honestly, that's what the wealthy do. Like, there are those that you're like, oh, they dress nice and you know they got money. There's a difference between wealthy and rich. Rich is people where they dress nice. You can see they got the chains or the necklaces, they got the jewelry and the rings. They got the nice little Mercedes or Lexus. They rich. They got some money in the bank, best believe. But then there's wealthy, where you look at the person, you're like, ooh, they look like a bum. They drive a little the year 2002 Sentra or Impala, They wear, little Skechers sneakers and, I don't know, polo shirt. But guess what? They wealthy. They got money, 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 money. But you would never know because they don't need to flash it to everybody. When you flash, people want what you got. And when people want what you got, they hate on you. They conspire against you. They try to use you. They suck up to you. I'm the type of person, you would never know what kind of money in my bank account based on the way I look. Like, for videos and stuff, yeah, I dress up. I look nice. I look cute. Yeah, that girl is fire. But in person, you would think I wouldn't say a bum. I'm going to look presentable. I'm going to look presentable. But I'm not fit to wear some diamond rings and, Gucci and all that Chanel. Well, Chanel is perfume, right? Prada, I don't know, Prada shoes. I don't know. Because I don't keep up with that kind of stuff, right? I'm not wasting my money on that stuff. That stuff, what are those purses called? Balenciagas? I don't know. Because I don't care about that stuff. Again, like, that stuff is, what do you call it? Materialistic items that cannot put food in my stomach or a house over my head. Therefore, I do not bother or waste myself with that. Not that I could afford a $15,000 purse. Who wants to spend that kind of money on a bag? Like, for real, son. Does it hold gold? Or do you reach inside of it and it pulls out shards of diamonds and gold? Like, it's silly. It's silly. And people within the chocolate community tend to aspire to that. And it doesn't make sense. Like, come on now. You need to worry about, providing a home. Like, you don't even own a home, but you're like, ooh, I want to get that micro core bag. Like, it don't make sense to me. Like, the values are skewed. Like, I was doing a research paper. Well, yeah, because I went back to school trying to get my education or get a few more degrees or whatever. So I'm taking some classes in sociology, and it was this thing about how Black people, African American people, people of color, our value systems are kind of messed up because we value, like, looking like we have money versus actually having money. Like, we want the world to perceive us as, rich, doing it up. Like, you see those posts where the guys have this stack of money held to their ear, or girls wearing these big old chains or guys wearing these big old chains. They're carrying these, most of the time it'd be knockoff bags, or showing, oh, look at my Gucci belt and shoes, my Gucci sandals, all that kind of stuff. It's like we value looking rich, but most of the time we're poor, right? We don't have none of this money. So it doesn't make sense to me why our culture, I mean, yeah, psychologically, it's because we want to feel valued, we want to feel desired and all that stuff, because society has told us so long that we are less than. They have dehumanized us for so long. So we want to add value to ourselves and make people say, yo, these people are worthy of, affection, attention, or so what, so on. But the truth is, we need to change our views. Like, forget looking like we have money. We need to work towards actually having money. So, with that being said, I say having a financial advisor is not necessary because, again, getting a financial advisor means you're going to have to pay somebody. I don't like the idea of having to pay somebody to manage my money at all. So, no, I don't have a financial advisor. Maybe if I was like multi-millionaire Warren, like what's that Elon Musk type money? Sure, financial advisor. At the same time, it's so hard to trust people. You know how many times a financial advisor has took off with somebody's money, stole people's money? I am really, really pushing you away from financial advisors. But like, maybe you got a family member who's in accounting or what. Even then, you can't trust family. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to like discourage you, but if you're like that type of person where you're like, I am not good with money at all. Like, I have money, I make decent money, but I don't know how to manage it. I legit don't. Like, it's not my forte. Then I say, yeah, get you a financial advisor. Get you someone, vet them, make sure they're good, make sure maybe even have them referred to you because you want someone you can trust. Don't give them access to your money. Just give them, what do you call it? Like, give them an understanding of what kind of money you have and have them advise you of what things you should do with your money that works for you and your lifestyle, but never actually ever give nobody access to your money. When I say access, I mean do not give them your safe deposit box number, key, that kind of situation. Do not give them your login passwords or whatever like that. Do not do it, because as much as I want to have hope and faith in humankind, people are like selfish, lying, deceiving, thieves, and you can't trust everybody because people are run by desire such as greed. Like, be honest. If you had someone, say you had a friend, a good friend of yours. No, it's not even a friend, because say there was somebody you met on the street, like you're sitting there and they're like, hey, hi, how are you? And you're like, hi, fine. And you're sitting on a park bench, the person comes sits next to you and they're like, hey, in this bag right here, I have $5 million. I need to go to the restroom and I'm going to sit this bag next to you. Can you watch it? Can you watch it for me? Can you just watch this bag for me while I go use the restroom with $5 million? Tell me you would not be tempted to take that money, or just like open it up, maybe take a few thousand out of it. Tell me you wouldn't. Like, don't be like that. No, I would never. I'm a good human being. Like, no, some person saying, hey, I have money, I need you to watch over for me. Can you do that? Like, money you've never seen before and will never see again. Can you do that? Yeah, you're most likely tempted by human desire to like get you some. And that's why I say with financial advisors, like, be careful. Just be careful. And then finally, I want you to say, take care of your health, because money can stress you out like crazy, man. Worrying about bills, worrying about like kids, paying for this, paying for that. How you gonna do this? How you gonna make this stretch? It can stress the heck out of you, man. And Stress will mess up your health, which will then prevent you from going to work and making money. So maintain your body, take your vitamins, go to your doctors. Being healthy physically will positively impact your financial life, because when you feel good, you like, okay, yeah, today's the day. I'm going out there. I'm going to make me some money. I'm going to do this up. I'm feeling myself. It's not difficult to invest in your health. Regular doctor. Well, I'm saying that, but going to doctor. Ooh, dentists are expensive. Dentists get on my absolute nerves. Why are you so expensive? But yeah, ain't nothing like having uh, a cavity or a tooth infection. So make sure you maintain your health. Like, you ain't no pain until you get a tooth infection, for real. So make sure you're constantly going to dentists, constantly going to the doctor if you can afford. If you got good health insurance, that's another thing that's expensive. But this is also the reason why I say this is because preventing medical issues before them happen will save you a lot of money, right? Like, if for instance, I'm going to take me an example. Like, I found out I had cancer, right? Now, I found this out because self-examinations. I'm like, what is this? And I promise you, I talked to my mom about it, and she was just like, oh, it's probably just, a cyst or fatty tissue or whatever. But something just wasn't sitting right with me. I was like, you know what? And I kept being like, nah, I ain't gonna go. I'm gonna go. Nah, I ain't gonna go. I'm gonna go. Fine, Sean, just go so you can just get the peace of mind. Just go, right? And they was going. They was like, oh, we don't really know what this is just by poking your boob with our fingers. We don't really know. So here's your bill for us to poke your boobie, and we're going to refer you to a different doctor. Say what? Dang. So you made me pay this money to not tell me nothing and tell me, go ask somebody else. Fine. I ain't going nowhere. My mom's probably right. It's just fatty tissue. So then I'm sitting around. I'm like, fine. I don't feel comfortable. Let me just go to this new doctor. I go to this new doctor. They get to poking around. They're like, we don't really know just by poking our fingers with your boobies to your boobies. So, you can come back and we can do, something called a biopsy. But until then, here's the bill. Pay us our money. And I'm like, are you serious? Now, I didn't pay two people to tell me nothing. Go back again. They like, all right, let's do this breast biopsy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We see. You got cancer. Well, you got cancer, ma'am. Yeah. We ain't gonna miss words. You got cancer. Now pay us our money. It's like, are you serious? Bad news. And you want me to pay you for this bad news? But then doctor after doctor, get the surgery. We good now, right? But say if I would have waited. And be like, all right, Mom, I'm going to just trust and believe you know what you think it is. And say if I would have waited until it got too late, then guess what? I would have been on, I don't know, all forms of transfusions and hospice or all that in and out of emergency rooms, all that kind of stuff. If I would have waited and it got too late, and then what kind of money I would have been paying out just to go to an emergency room. I remember the last time I went to an emergency room was back in 2015, I think. Just to go in there. I promise you, I went in. The doctor came into the room. He was in there for 1 minute and 13 seconds, walked out. He came in, he's like, so what's going on? Okay. So I'm gonna write your prescription, go to the front desk. Promise you, 1 minute and 30 seconds, in and out. Went to the front desk, she gave me my prescription. They say they want to charge me $900 for that, him walking in, walking out. That's it. Walking in, walking out. 1 minute and 13 seconds. Charge me $900. Then the medication you want to prescribe me is $400. $400. They don't make no sense. The American health system is so messed up, man. So messed up. So, but imagine if I had to keep going to emergency rooms and all that kind of stuff because I didn't make sure I took care of my health when I first noticed it. I would be in so much debt, like in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I say this was a long story just to tell you, make sure you take care of your health now so it don't cause you any troubles in the future. You don't want that smoke physically and financially. So I thought I'd give you some a rule to thumb, right? Something that you can actually implement into your everyday life. There's this thing that's called the 50-30-20 budget rule, right? 50-30-20 budget rule. It's basically when you divide your income into these three categories. Take 50% of your income, the money that you get every 2 weeks, every week, every month, or whatever, however you get paid. 50% of it goes to your needs. When I say needs, it means your bills, whether that's car note, lights, rent, water, food, insurance, all that. 50% of it should go towards bills. Sad to say, most of the time when you get your paycheck, all of it goes to bills and you left with a little portion. But hopefully a lot of you guys make a little bit more money that where you can take only all your bills only accumulates up to 50% of your paycheck, right? Then the 30%. 30% of your paycheck is your wants. Now, you can slightly adjust the 30% if you want it to be more like 20%, but 30% is of your wants. That way, you always feel like you're satisfying you and not being neglected in any way. So I'm saying, when I say wants, I'm saying like, oh, you want to go out with your girls this weekend and have a nice little lunch or dinner, or, oh, you and your babe wants to go to the movies and have fun, have a little romantic night, or, oh, you want to take the kids to the amusement park or to the mall. That's your wants, right? 30% of your wants. Then 20% of your pay should just be for saving, either saving or paying debt. That's what the 20% should be, saving or paying debt. This way, you can have an idea of how to build yourself towards your goals or towards your future financial freedom. You keep this in mind, your money will constantly grow, right? If you keep this budget minimal, you can always adjust it to fit you, like your circumstances, but having like a budget rule in place will make you sure you always have money on the side for whatever reason, emergencies or debt or saving. Then, so the bottom line, let's talk about the bottom line. All these things that I've mentioned today won't necessarily, solve your money issues, your money problems, but these will help you develop good habits towards your path of financial freedom. I actually kind of get tired of that term financial freedom because I don't know, it kind of seems like it's used or played out, or it plays towards people's like desires and wants. I don't know, because but I mean, it hits the nail on the head. I guess financial freedom, when you don't have to worry about your finances all the time. So that's what this goal is. These steps are. Make sure you keep, again, have set targets, reasonable targets and goals in mind. Guard yourself from any temptations of overspending in order to make some real progress. Relieve yourself of all pressures by eliminating as much debt as you possibly can, and always have a nest egg in the back of your closet for any retirement plans or emergency, mishaps. So, yeah, that's my version or insight into like attaining financial freedom. Thank you for watching. Gotta let you know with your girl Shauna, and she is out.
You heard it from your girl Shauna Sagaji. Be sure to subscribe on your preferred platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many others. Shauna out.